God, Maburi.
I'm not joking. The people are so unlikable in this movie that honestly, when the daughter gets taken, I'm almost like the mom deserves it.
I'm gonna steal the Declaration of Independence.
Boom! Shakalaka turner! You're out on the floor! Ejectocito, cuz! It worked! I love this part! Please! Come on!
Goodbye, Benny.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Millennial Classics. On this show, we talk about the best and most memorable movies, music, and culture-changing events of our generation. And it is hosted by yours truly, Maburi and Q. Maburi, how you doing today?
How we doing? Doing good. Doing good.
Very good. I'm happy to hear it. Happy Sunday. There's going to be a few games today I'm excited to watch. But before we talk about the rest of this beautiful Sunday, I'd like to know, what movie are we doing and why, Maburi? Is it a Millennial Classic?
So we're doing Taken.
Dad, guess what? You know my friend Amanda?
Yep.
Her cousins asked us to spend vacation with them in Paris. I really, really want to go. Hi, Daddy.
You were supposed to call me when you land.
There's someone here.
What?
Oh my God, they got Amanda. They're coming.
All right, listen to me. Go to the next bedroom. Under the bed. Tell me when you're there. Now, the next part is very important. They're going to take you.
This is a great pick. This is Zordic's pick, but it's a great pick because when you think about our action movies, millennial action movies, we pretty much have three guys that you just like pop up in your head: early, middle, and late, right? Because early we got Jason Bourne, Matt Damon running around kicking ass, right? Then 2008 we got fucking Bryan Mills,
Liam Neeson doing his thing
on the phone, and then late you got obviously John Wick, killing it. So like those three guys, I would them. You know, it breaks my heart that there's no Denzel in there. Because Equalizer was okay.
It was okay. Yeah, he's just so old. It's like it's hard. I mean, Liam, he's up there, and we'll talk about it. But Denzel is. So
this is the movie where everyone was quoting.
Yep.
Like, I have a very particular set of skills. Oh. Yeah, this is the movie. This is why your kids couldn't go to Europe. This is why you cross the street when you see an Albanian. Like all these things happen in real life because of this movie. Yeah, it was a huge hit. Like, this movie was way bigger. It's almost like the way we thought John Wick 1 was. Mm-hmm. This was even bigger than that, if you remember that.
Yeah, no.
John Wick 2 and 3 are like better than Taken 2 and 3, like way better.
Of course.
But this movie, the first one, was a huge hit.
Yeah, I think this movie, like when it first came out, when this movie came out, just on that quote alone when he's on the phone was as big as probably the first John Wick, right? Yeah. The John Wick trilogy is obviously way better. Yeah. But this first movie, when it came out, it took over like the world. Fantastic movie. And this is like, it's crazy to think that Liam Neeson like shot up the stardom for this movie, but we'll get to the movie in a hot minute. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in my millennial time machine to talk about what happened during the time of the release of Taken. So fun fact about Taken, it was released on multiple dates in multiple countries, but I am going to focus on when it was released in the US of A, because that's when we saw it. And this is our podcast. And that's just what's going to happen. So the film was released on February 27th in France. The original, like I think the director, Maburi, will talk about that, was French, but it was released on January 30th, 2009 in the US of A. And in my millennial time machine, Maburi and I, we were our midway through our freshman year of high school when Liam Neeson and Taken took over the world. Barack Obama had just been inaugurated as the 44th president of the United States. Just Dance by Lady Gaga is on top of the single charts in both the US and in the UK. The song You Somebody by Kings of Leon won the Grammy in 2009. And other popular music artists of 2009, Kelly Clarkson, T.I., Flo Rida, the Black Eyed Peas, Beyonce, Pitbull, Sean Kingston, and still doing his thing to this day, Drake.
Right.
What do you think about that lineup, bro? The Black Eyed Peas, Beyonce, Sean Kingston.
I mean, the only people there that are still top of the game are Drake and Beyonce.
Yeah, everyone else has kind of it's they
and
came.
Drake has been at the tip top of like hip hop for legit like 10 years straight. Like Beyonce's dropped like 4 projects since that entire span, but Drake's dropped he's 10.
Yeah.
Drake's been prolific and stayed at the top.
Yeah, and you're right, the tippy top. He's always since 2008, really. He's been top 3 in sales and talk and popularity, everything. the whole night. Movies. Let's talk about the movies. The Hurt Locker won the Academy Award for Best Picture in 2009. Top grossing
beat
movies.
Avatar, right?
Yes, it did beat Avatar. I was about to say in 2009, the other top grossing movies of that year were Avatar, Harry Potter, Half-Blood Prince, Ice Age, Dawn of the Dinosaurs, Transformers, Revenge of the Fallen, 2012, Up, The Twilight Saga, New Moon, Sherlock Holmes, The Hangover, which I can't believe we still haven't done, Inglourious
Basterds, right?
No, I don't. Well, maybe it came out that year.
That's
but it's not on this list. Inglourious Basterds, District 9, and Maburi's favorite football movie, The Blind Side.
Shut up.
And in tech news, to wrap this up, on January 3rd of 2009, the Bitcoin network was created. In 2009, imagine buying Bitcoin in 2009, Maburi. You'd be balling. And then Africans around the globe were rejoicing because on February 24th of 2009, the messaging app WhatsApp was founded. Maburi, that is the time machine. That is what was happening early 2009. Let's talk about the makings and ratings of Taken. Maburi, take it away.
Okay. So Taken, obviously, 2008 to 2009 was a release. It got pretty shit reviews, let's be honest.
Oh, no. But I did not know that.
For Rotten Tomatoes, it got 59%.
Okay.
And then Metacritic, it got 51%.
Ooh.
IMDb, 7.8. So people really like this movie way more than
the critics.
Right. Course. I think what really helps this movie, and I was just saying, is it's a really short movie.
Mm-hmm.
Really short. It's 90 minutes. It feels quicker than that. If you look away, it's one of the movies you look away, and he's already in another part of France, fucking another part of Paris, kicking someone else's ass, and you're like, whoa, how did he get there?
He's a ghost.
The clues that he goes from one place to another are so small that if you look away, you
miss it. Yeah,
you miss it. But it's a short movie. I watched it twice this weekend.
It's that good. I'm saying it really is a good movie. It's so fun to watch.
Directed by Pierre Morel, who works with Luc Besson. And Luc Besson wrote it, produced it, released it through his label. And he's the guy, well, there's a lot of allegations against him for doing crazy French shit, but he came out with Lucy after this.
Okay,
that's his last good movie,
good-ish
movie. Leon the Professional in the 90s, and Fifth Element, which is my favorite movie by him. Fifth Element's legitimately a good movie.
Fifth Element is a great movie. It's a really good movie.
He had this movie called Anna that came out 2-3 years ago.
Yeah,
it is actually a terrible movie.
Is it about Anna Delvey, the New York socialite? Is it about her?
No, it's about a model, a Ukrainian or Russian model that gets sent to France, and then she becomes a killer or some shit like that. But it's so bad. It is terrible. They make it's I don't even know how you fuck up an action movie that bad. But there's literally a climactic scene where they do 15 time jumps in a minute 30. 2 minutes ago, 3 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. And you're wait, hold on. What the fuck is going on? Everyone's at the same place, but they cut it so weirdly. I don't know. That's just a bad
So are you telling me that Taken was his peak? Because that's what it sounds like.
I'd say Fifth Element. After Leon, the Professional.
But Fifth Element is a really long time ago.
Yeah.
right?
I think that's when he had a lot of juice. I think by this point,
Okay. You're saying this is on his downfall, but it's a hit.
Yeah. He's just releasing like small, mid-budget action movies.
It's the way that this
is a huge hit, though. $25 million budget, 200 million, 226 worldwide.
That's amazing.
145 in America. So this might be his peak.
The thing is, it's like the way this movie was released, I don't think even the studio or the production company or whoever thought it was going to be as big of a hit as it is, as it currently is. It was, because it was released, because, you know, when big movies like this release, they try to do it all at the same time. It was released a year earlier in France than it was in America. So I feel like they caught it hit its stride, and it was like, all right, this needs to go worldwide ASAP.
Right. So that leads us to the main star of this movie, the guy who was on the poster.
Yep.
Liam Neeson. So for our generation, this is probably where we know Liam Neeson.
Yes.
Because he was huge in the 90s, and he was a real like actor, like a legitimate like actor, like getting Oscar noms. He was in Schindler's List. He played a superhero in Darkman in 1990.
I don't know what movie that is.
Yeah, it's Darkman.
Is it Liam Neeson's version of Hancock?
You've seen the Key and Peele sketch where it's like Liam Neeson's?
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh my God, he was Darkman. But he's in Kingdom of Heaven in 2005, which is really good. He's Ra's al Ghul in Batman Begins.
I love that.
Which is sick.
That is sick. That's a great, yes.
In New York. He's a priest in Gangs of New York. Qui-Gon Jinn in Star Wars. And then Love Actually. He's in Love Actually. So he does a bunch of different movies. But then by the time Taken happens, Taken pretty much just changes his career.
Yeah, what does he do after? I want because that list prior is actually a really good list. Starting out at Schindler's List. I mean, in Batman, he's in his own weird superhero movie.
So, like, by the time he's in Schindler's List, he's legitimately like a actor. So, he still does some like prestige movies. Like he's in Silence from Martin Scorsese. He plays a priest in Silence. But after this movie comes out, he kind of becomes like an action star. And then it's kind of like it's gone all the way to now. He's in like 15 movies. I feel like he's in like 15 movies. I've seen his poster. Like he went like in the past. Like, all right, let me tell you what happened. What he's done. So he has a movie called Memory, Blacklight, The Ice Road, The Marksman, Honest Thief, Made in Italy. Like all those movies, I'm sure most of them are action movies. And it's one of those movies where it's just him in front of a poster, fucking doing some action shit.
The only one
he's in Men in Black International, which was the worst Men in Black yet. But that's not his fault. And then Widows is amazing.
Widows. Yes. It's about those ladies who their husbands die and then they have to like take revenge or some shit, right? Yeah. I've also seen The Marksman. So those are the only two. And it does seem like it's Bryan Mills. It's like Liam, all of these action movies it seems like him in just like a different time or place. It's kind of.
I will say the best of these, Nonstop is pretty good. The one on the plane. Oh yeah.
That one was dope.
Pretty good. And then I think that's about it. But after this, he like Dark Knight Rises, he just does a bunch of small stuff. But Taken, he does Taken 2 and Taken 3.
Yep.
By the time Taken 3 comes out, it's really just like cash grab. Complete cash grab. But
I mean, how many times can someone in your family get taken, bro? For real.
But my favorite movie after this is probably The Gray, where it's like Liam. So after this, it becomes like Liam Neeson versus.
Yep.
So Liam Neeson on a plane, Liam Neeson like against wolves, Liam Neeson like that becomes the tagline because of this movie. But yeah, so there's Liam Neeson, and then you have the other two main characters. So the cast is pretty small for this. The two main characters is a wife, Famke Janssen, who obviously is Jean Grey in X-Men. Mm-hmm. She's done a bunch of other stuff, but that's probably her most famous role.
Yep.
And then Maggie Grace was in Lost, and then the Taken movies, pretty much. So it's pretty much almost a one-man show here.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a one-man show. I mean, they're in the movie, and the movie, I mean, they have lines and stuff, but it's Liam Neeson's movie. I mean, he takes charge in that movie. Who is the actor that plays Jean Claude? Like the most French name ever. I like him.
His face looks fucking French.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they gave him the most French name ever. He looks French. I enjoyed him in the show, in the movie, for the very little he had.
Olivier. His name's Olivier Raboudin or whatever.
Wonderful.
He's in that in Paris too.
Before we get into the movie, before we start talking about the scenes, Mumburi, do you remember the first time you saw this movie? Did you see it in theaters? Was it a big deal? Did you fall in love with the movie the first time you saw it, or is it something that grew on you?
I definitely probably had to see it in theaters because the way everyone is talking about it. I think it was one of those things where you see it, it's like you come out of the movie talking about the movie.
Exactly.
It was solid. It's a solid movie. Like you know what's going in. The trailer tells you that she's gonna get taken and he's gonna go get her. Yeah. It's one of those. It's honestly, how do I describe it? It's like going to a diner. Like you're not expecting amazing food, but you want good eggs, you want pancakes or whatever, and you want syrup and you want good coffee, and like that's what this movie is. It's good at that. It's not trying to be like an expose on female trafficking and human trafficking in the 21st century or anything bullshit like that. It's just like, dude, this guy doesn't give a fuck about anyone else. He's just trying to get his daughter and bring her back.
Well, Barry, that's such a good way to describe it. Because you're right. When you go to a diner, you're not expecting a 5-star 4-course meal. You go there for a very specific reason. You put on Taken, you go into the theater watching Taken for a very specific reason, and it gives it to you in spades.
Yeah, it gives it to you. Like, what are the overarching themes and motifs of them? No.
None.
Like, give me coffee, give me 2 strips of bacon, give me some eggs, and let me enjoy my breakfast. That's
exactly. And you leave with a smile on your face. This movie is fantastic. Speaking of which, Mumburi, take us on this journey through this movie, the best scenes of the movie. Where do you start? And let's go.
So this movie, it's not as bad as The Black Knight in terms of night level, but this movie, it's for how short the movie is, the start is pretty slow. Like because they kind of introduce the characters, but it really doesn't matter because you spend so little time with everyone else that so like the army buddies, the first concert, the birthday party in the very beginning where she gets a horse, you just kind of yada through all of that.
You kind of
really doesn't matter. None of that even comes back later.
They try to make you feel the connection between him and his daughter. He gave up his career for his daughter. The intro to the movie is a memory of his daughter. He goes to. Can I ask you this? Do you go to a pawn shop multiple times to look at a karaoke machine? Is that come on?
Nah, I've never done that in my life.
So that's what I'm saying. So like they try to make you believe like he's like true passion in it. He's a father, obviously. He cares. So I didn't know if they needed to go to those lengths. But
were people still buying karaoke machines like that in 2008?
No, I don't think so, bro.
Like that's some like old ass like French guy shit where it's like, oh, what are the kids doing? Karaoke machines like from 1995. Because you could just get your kid a fucking MacBook and Fruity Loops.
Exactly.
Hop to it.
Exactly.
Like, a fucking karaoke machine. Like, what are we talking about here?
He's a little out of touch. I kind of see it because he's just like an old guy. My daughter wants to be a singer. And he's like talking about not knowing Beyonce. Yeah. I'm sorry. Keep going. Yeah. So the beginning was a little on the slower side.
The beginning's a little slow. I'm trying to think. Is anyone in this movie likable in the beginning? No. There's not a single likable character. Literally, this is borderline unlikable in that movie. In the very beginning, you're just like, he doesn't know how to read the room.
Yeah.
Daughter is oblivious. Stuart's a dickhead. the wife is the worst out of all of them.
It's not Lenny, it's Lenore.
It's like, all right, like what? Come on, you marry one rich dude and now it's like who has security? Who has security at her own birthday, and then you don't, and then security doesn't know who the dad is. Like that's you doing that on purpose.
I know.
Like you just showed her the picture of the dad and be like, all right, this is the dad. He's allowed in, obviously. But no, sir, you're not allowed in. Sir, who do you know here? Like, who do I know here? What are we doing?
I have to say, I think the one character that is kind of likable is this movie's version of Hannah Montana. I just, in my head, that character in real life would be Hannah Montana, the singer. Oh, I liked her because in the beginning she comes off as a dick. Like, tell her to pick a different career, and then at the end she's like, "Thank you for saving my life." She's kind of likable.
Thank you. You've done something for me, so now I feel bad. I'm going to treat you.
Oh, bro! Like, if you are a superstar, the amount of security guards that you meet every day is like impossibly long. So I do like the way she turned around and she's like, "You saved my life. Thank you. Let me do you a solid."
If she had gotten taken, I would have cared more.
God, Murray.
I'm not joking. The people are so unlikable in this movie that honestly, when the daughter gets taken, I'm almost like the mom deserves it. For the jokes, the snide comments that the mom puts like the dude through, I'm like, if I was a dude, like obviously it's your daughter, you gotta go get her, but I was like, I'm not leaving until I get an apology.
You're the worst. But I did want to ask you a question about this because in the beginning of the movie, like I thought that Liam Neeson, that it's Bryan, right? Bryan Mills. I thought he was being a little ridiculous in not letting her go to France. She's like her senior year of high school. She's graduating. She's gonna go to college. This sounds like a good trip. But then when he finds out that she's basically going to be a groupie for the U2 concert and she's going to every one of the things through Europe. That's ridiculous, Mumbury. I think that's ridiculous. I don't think that's
like, all right, the first thing is picking U2, like whoever the guys, the writer is who picked U2 to be like the band that people follow around in 2008 is crazy. It's
crazy.
Like we're following fucking Kanye and Jay-Z across Europe. All right, cool. Right? But like if you're like U2, like it's 1995.
Yeah.
What are we doing here? Like that's what the writers were doing 20 years ago, not what kids are doing now. Number two, what's crazy is like he wasn't out of pocket for being like no.
Exactly.
The mom literally was like at a breakfast being like, just sign the fucking paper. It's like sign the paper. I have no. I don't even. You're gonna give me the flight information, like the hotel where they're staying. I haven't even met like.
How long is she gonna be out there? Exactly.
I don't know details. Like you're just springing this on me and then being like,
"You're an asshole.
You're an asshole. You always say no. Sign the papers." Like what? And even after, like, I feel like in real life you would have been like, all right, just like give me the parents' number, so let me just call them to make sure. Yeah. Like, right? If your daughter's staying there for a week, you want to at least be like,
who are they staying with? How long can I speak to these? Yeah, exactly.
Like the bare minimum. That's like the bare minimum. And then the mom's like, you're being unreasonable. She had to lie to you. What? Because you know when she got taken out and be like, you're being unreasonable. Why don't you and Stuart take that horse, ride that shit to Paris, and try to save her yourself? Because my God, I mean, she was like, and then at the end when he finally is like, all right, I'll sign it, but you have to do all these things, and then the wife is like, wasn't that easier to just do it in fucking the first time? And wouldn't it have been easier if you just fucking told me the first time? And he walks off, and I'm like, dude, I just want one of those in my life. I want to win an argument and walk off. That's the set. Like
that's right.
No last second comments or fuck yous or anything. He just makes his point and walks away. Oh, that's almost the most unrealistic part of this whole movie. Forget the same. Winning that argument and walking away, amazing.
Yeah. Can you please tell me where the good scenes start, Mumbury?
The best scene is when she gets taken.
Great scene.
That's
Amazing
the best scene. It starts the movie. You almost wish, honestly, I don't know if this would have worked, but if they'd started the movie there, because everyone in the theater knows she gets taken.
Yeah.
So if you start the movie with her getting taken, then you go back and then you see how she gets taken. And then it starts with, and then it goes back to him in the apartment looking for her, or right? Then it kind of like starts the movie hot. You know she's taken.
Yeah. So you
then
like thrown right in.
She gets taken, and then because otherwise we're just being like, yo, when is this fucking woman getting kidnapped? Come on, like she runs like a 6-year-old.
Oh,
runs like a 6-year-old.
I hate the way she runs,
and she dresses like a 6-year-old too.
Yeah.
Which is super weird.
It is.
Like,
it is.
Like she dressed like a 6-year-old 20 years ago.
Yeah. And like, I literally have in my notes, like the way she's jumping and screaming at her birthdays, like it's so weird watching her. It's like, this is your 17th birthday. You're acting really like you're 10.
Like if she was acting like that, I'd be like, you can't even, I wouldn't even let you go to the mall. I'm like, Paris. Motherfucker, you get a chaperone to the mall. Like I'm fucking shadowing you at the gallery. I'm shadowing you. Forget Paris.
She definitely takes like the short bus or something. Like there was something off about. She just, it just didn't click. But please describe the scene to me. Build that scene because wait, before we talk about the scene. The only reason I want to say no to your preference of starting it that way is because the beginning of the movie, everyone's talking about him, how he used to be as a spy or whatever the hell his job was, the protector, the preventer is what he told his daughter. But then you like, it's hard to believe. You see this man, he's old, he's grizzly. I know he has his boys. You saw him do his little action at the concert, but I feel like the build up to like, this is him being serious. Everything before this was him as an old dad. Yeah, he helped her at the concert. He was still being the nice guy. But then on the phone during this taken scene, when he's talking to that guy, it hits you like a ton of bricks. The tension is so perfectly set. It's like the build up to this scene felt so good. Like, yeah, the beginning was a bore, but then the switch from the boring beginning to now the tension is real. I would have hated if the tension was this serious and then we had to go through that bore shit again. You know what I mean?
I guess. The other thing is their playlist that they're rocking out to when they get into the apartment. That alone is kidnap worthy.
Mumbury. If not only is that alone the kidnap worthy, her friend is ridiculously stupid. You go to a new country. Can we talk about the drive over to the apartment?
Because this is gonna be a segment we're gonna start called victim blaming. Because
yes.
Deserve this, but the lack of common sense at any point in time, like if someone was like, "Oh, you want to share a taxi to Paris?" My first question would be, Paris is a big place. Where are you going?
Exactly.
Where are you going? And how much is it saving me? Like, are you hopping out at like the first train station? Because why are you going to my place and then you gotta take another taxi? That makes no sense.
It makes no sense.
Anyone like who has a brain cell would be like, "Yo, just fucking drop me off around the block, say goodbye, and then I'm gonna walk to my place." Oh, you want to invite me to a party? Where is it? I'll meet you there.
Yep. And on top of the fact that her friend is like, yeah, let's share a taxi. Oh my goodness, he's hot. Mumbury, the cherry on top of the stupidity, and yes, the victim blaming is deserved in this situation, is, oh, this is my parents' friend's house, but they're gone for the week. We're here alone, and I'm going to give you the exact address, the floor, and the door number. Like, if you don't want to be killed and slaughtered and taken, I mean, it doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense.
Might as well tie yourself up and gag yourself already and just wait by the door.
Exactly.
What are we doing here?
Like, I mean, just get into the building.
You should, when the kidnappers come in, you shouldn't even fight them. You should just be like, I'll be waiting for you. You want a drink? I'm ready to go. Like, I'll be ready to go in 5 minutes because that's what you did. You just teamed these motherfuckers up. Like,
yeah. The most ridiculous, dumbest thing I've ever heard. Dumb, like it was so stupid. When you watch the movie, it's like, how are you giving a random dude this information? Yeah. How? Enough of talking shit about the poor ladies who get fucking taken.
No, obviously they don't deserve anything. Like what happened to them.
But they did some really stupid. Yeah, it's super stupid what they did. It's super stupid. Of course, you can't be.
You know what it is. You know what it is. You want to make the kidnappers work for it.
Exactly.
Like at the end of the day, like I go to work and I come back tired, and the least you could do as being kidnapped is make sure the kidnappers go home tired too. Exactly. Right? Because you don't want them to have an easy day at work. They don't deserve it. You gotta make them work hard every day. These kidnappers, these human traffickers, they don't deserve to have an easy day at work.
They should not come home smiling. No, they should
smiling. No human trafficker should come home and be like, baby, I got a half day.
You home so early.
These girls were stupid. They just left the door wide open. We were done in 10 minutes. One of them paid for the Uber.
Exactly. Okay. All right. So the kidnap scene.
So the Liam Neeson talk on the phone. As soon, like that's what makes this so sick. Is as soon as he senses danger, like a normal dad would be like, "All right, honey, stop playing." Like, "Oh my God, you're being taken." Like, no, this dude was like, "All right, who'd you meet on the fucking flight? Yeah. Who'd you meet in the airport? Yeah. Let me get my fucking briefcase." Did you rode the taxi? All right, what's his name? Peter who? Immediate information. And then he's like, he tells her immediately she's gonna get taken.
Yes.
I love that.
I love exactly.
First off, she took it well. She was like, oh my God, my like I would have been like, what do you mean I'm gonna get taken? You can't give me what? You can't give me like a judo moves like over the phone. What do you mean I'm gonna get taken? Like that is unacceptable.
Yeah.
I would climb out a window. Like forget like I'm gonna get taken, hide under the bed.
Like, no, Dad, I'm jumping out of here. No, but the fact that he came to that conclusion really quickly and the way she took it, yeah, you're right. Both of those things it's fantastic to see him get into that mindset, that mode. He's like automatic switch and it's all business.
Yep. He does the whole speech first off, he tells her, listen, when they take you, you're gonna have 5-10 seconds, describe whatever you see, height, build, whatever.
Tattoos, whatever.
Nails it.
Exactly.
Nails it.
Yeah.
Like she like pro dismount with the fucking sticks to landing.
Yep.
Like gymnast nails it. Because she like gets taken and she's like build, tall, dark, whatever, tattoo, moon and stars, right wrist, because let me tell you, most people
it's a blur. Like exactly. It's hard to believe that this is the same.
One white guy, one black guy. Mixed guy. It was one guy the whole time. It was one mixed guy and then knocked out. Like that's what it would come out like.
Yeah.
But she was just like on top of it, gave him decent stuff. He does the famous speech, probably like when Liam Neeson dies. This is the speech that they'll play
at his eulogy. This is what they will do at his eulogy. It's amazing.
I will find you and I will kill you. I got a very particular set of skills. Okay.
Can we just give that quote a little bit more respect?
Yeah,
I have to say, we can't keep putting in the clips. I actually got fun fact, Mumbury, my Facebook account got canceled because of all of the clips that I was putting in the movies. They kept on asking. Really? They kept on asking me if I have the rights to the thing. And
your face was like.
I kept on saying yeah. I have the rights because it was just clips, and I don't know what the safe use, fair use, whatever thing is. But they canceled my Facebook account. So because I can't put in the clip, and I need to put in the and this is one of my favorites. The quote that he says on the phone is, "I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. If you are looking for a ransom, I can tell you I don't have money. But what I do have are a very particular set of skills. Skills I have acquired over a very long career. Skills that will make me a nightmare for people like you. If you let my daughter go now, that'll be the end of it. I will not look for you. I will not pursue you. But if you don't, I will look for you. I will find you, and I will kill you. I love that, bro. That is the most intense, beautiful, like that quote sets up like the intense action movie that is coming your way, and it is beautifully done. It is beautifully done. I don't even know, Mumbury, in the movie if they deepen or like change the audio of his voice.
Yeah, he's just a pro. And
It's
honestly, the
beautiful.
best part about the thing, she's just like, no, you can take Amanda. I don't give a fuck about the other girl, dude. You give me back my daughter. You human traffic, whatever you need to do. All I care about is make sure my daughter gets back.
It's a beautiful, beautiful scene.
He immediately goes to her house, Lenore's house. This is my favorite part because I would be there for too long. I would be rubbing this shit in. You know, like I'd be like, yo, how much responsibility is she having right now in the back of that van? Like all this shit. I would be rubbing Lenore. Lenny, can I call you Lenny now? All this shit.
You're the most petty motherfucker. You're the most petty motherfucker I know.
He does a little contest with Stuart.
Ask Stuart. Like, oh yeah.
He's like, yeah. How do you know about all this? She's like, you think I wouldn't let my daughter like hang in the house with someone I didn't do a little research on? Do you have any enemies, Stuart? And then Stuart's like, a little something about you too. And he's like, Stuart, this is the time for dick measuring contest.
I have that in my quotes too, bro.
Like, you brought it up. Like you around, and then that was like he whips his out, and you're like, nah, this ain't the time for that. Like, all right, player. And he's like, you got a NetJets lease. I need it today. I need it yesterday. Whatever. I need it an hour ago.
It's beautiful. Beautiful.
He calls Sam, and Sam literally gives him, like, I don't know what grade intel this is in an hour, but it's almost like CIA level. Oh, yeah. It's crazy. This would be like,
isn't that what we're supposed to believe that his previous job was? I know that they're like Sam is not in the CIA currently, but aren't we supposed to believe?
This level of intel is like, he's like, this dude moved 6 months ago and have started a ring and they have all this and they're from this town. The accent is from. It's like, dude, if you gave this to the NSA now, it would take them a day to figure out all that.
100%.
This dude had this ready to go in an hour.
Yep.
And he was like, yo, and then the killer is after saying so much heinous shit, like. This is what I always love when they do this. You say all this heinous shit, and then like halfway through the comedy, you're like, "Are you on speaker?" It's like, bitch, what are you talking about? Now you want to be? Now you want to know if you're on speaker?
The Petty Mumbury move of this scene is when he's like, "No, Lenny needs to hear this." I love it.
And then nah, because I would have been like, "Yo, Sam, so would you let your daughter go to Paris?" I'd have been rubbing this shit in like a fucking
when I was watching,
Sam does the 96 hours, which is great.
It is
timeline.
Yes, it gives them an end time, and it's beautifully done. And when I was watching it, I literally thought 96 hours. That's a great. I did think this when he was dropping her off at the airport, when he's like, no, like, what was your job title? And he was like, my job title, I was basically the preventer. And I was like, the preventer could have been a decent title for a movie. Not good.
Sounds like a dog shit CBS show in like 1996, bro.
Great. But 96 hours. Listen, I feel like Liam Neeson could make anything work. But 96 hours is also a great title. And I didn't even know that it was a title of, I think, of the French movie or one of the other movies. I think in Russia,
Germany,
it was a different title
96 hours.
Say that again?
In Germany, it came out as 96 hours.
Okay.
So this movie, this scene is where you really see the difference. Like rich people, this is like rich people, or you really have a leg up in getting kidnapped if you're rich, because Also, number one, like Liam Neeson wasn't even like, I'll just give you $100,000 to give her back. Like that never even came up. Like he clearly could get the money quick.
Yeah.
$200,000, $300,000, whatever. He would be like, I could just pay for it.
Yeah.
And they probably would have been like, all right, cool.
Exactly.
Like we stole someone's rich. We want to, if you're starting 100, we'll give. But he didn't. He was just like, I'm going to kick your ass.
No, but legitimately in his speech, he says, I don't have money. He says, I don't know if you're looking for a ransom. It's a dumb move. He can get a private jet in 2 seconds if he wants to. He has access to money. Like, clearly, sell the horse, bro. But the best part is, like, if he was poor, like, if he just did a thing, like, if you had to get a flight to Paris ASAP from LAX, the next flight, like 96 hours would have been done. Exactly.
Like you would have arrived.
A couple of layovers. You'd be taking sprints.
You'd arrive tired, and like at the 96-hour mark, and the daughter would have been like in a chic's boat already. Like the movie would have been done.
Exactly. But before we move on from the scene, I do have to ask you, Maberry, because the scene right after this, he's in Paris. He's in France. He's on the jet. Builds jet over to France. Is it ridiculous for me to want the family to reach out to the U.S. embassy, to the to Interpol in France, to the police out there? I mean, I understand that he was in the CIA, but is it a smart idea for him to wait to get?
I would have assumed Stuart knew some people. I would have been like, Stuart, you must know some people.
Exactly.
Like, embassies and shit. Can you reach out to get like? Even he probably knows some shady ass people because Stuart's definitely into some shady shit, right? You could probably like know some shady people. What I don't understand, and what really makes me fucking question is why isn't Lenny on that plane too?
Oh yeah.
Like even if you're just in Paris for when he gets her,
why aren't you there?
Why aren't you there? Like, why does he have to bring her back to LA? Like, do you have a spin class you can't miss? I'm confused. What do you have to not do?
She just heard over the phone that her daughter might be sold into sex trafficking, and she's like, I'll wait for you to get back.
What? The private jet is empty. Stuart could probably fucking finagle mad shit in Paris.
Yeah. Like, I mean, he did get the best hotels for the girls when they were going on the trip. You can't set up his wife out there. It's a ridiculous. So he gets to France.
He goes to the house.
But before he gets to France, I love on the plane on the way there where he just keeps listening to that voice because you're like, I'm gonna find this motherfucker. I love it. It sets it up so well.
It comes back, comes back around.
It sets it up so well.
The apartment scene's okay, he just recreates it, and the whole time he's recreating, he's like, you're like, does he really have to go under the bed?
I was thinking the same thing. You go under the bed, dude.
How are you squeezing under that bed? What's going on there? Like, do you have to get under the bed to get a feel for the situation?
You don't need to do that. I literally have that in my notes. I love it.
But the next big scene is the airport chase for Peter.
Yes.
He sees what Peter looks like. Peter's already being like grabbing another girl, and he just out of nowhere just comes, fucking shoves him into the taxi. The best part is he shoves him in, punches him 3 times, looks at the taxi driver, and just yells "drive."
It's like
in your mind, like you've seen this so many times in movies that you just assume the taxi driver is just gonna like drive. Like, yeah. But in real life, obviously the taxi driver
exactly. He's like, fuck that.
Gets the cops. The handler's like, the spotter is like, handler comes out of nowhere, fights him. He does a chase scene.
Before we get to the end of this chase scene, Maberry, is it the smart move to go and bash the dude's brains in and try to, like, is that how you want to? Don't you just want to get the dude, Peter? You know what he looks like. Can't you just grab him and be like, I need to talk to you about the situation versus straight start punching?
I assume that what he thought about it was like, I'm just going to fucking get the jump on him quick. He'll squeal. And then and then I'll just get the info quick. But like,
versus
I think
Striker.
you start fucking trying to drag him somewhere. Don't forget, it's the airport. Like, there's most cops in the fucking country.
Yeah.
So I think you're just like, I just need 30 seconds with him alone, and then I'll fucking get the info and be out. Because if he had gotten the info out of him, he probably would have gone straight to that house.
That's what I'm saying.
Half the movie. I jumped ahead a bit. So he meets Jean-Claude after this.
Wait. Before he meets Jean-Claude, the way Peter dies is an epic way, bro. Even rewatching the movie, knowing it's going to happen, it's a dope way to kill that first dude.
Yeah.
Oh, well, him
you realize
himself.
he has to die.
Yeah.
Like the guy that has all the info, like the way all these movies always go, it's like there's always like a clear path, but the movie ends in 20 minutes.
Exactly.
And obviously that dude has to die like ASAP. Otherwise, everyone's going to be like, why didn't you just ask him?
Exactly. But like, I thought it was genius the way the dude died. I mean, he's running away. He thought he gets away. He's like, fuck you. You're too old. You can't jump down here. And he gets hit by a truck. And even on the rewatch, that truck hit is like, oh,
the truck even hit the brakes.
Oh, yeah.
He just fucking rolled on. Hold on. Gotta get them hours in.
Oh, Murray, get the fuck. I've seen the way you drive in a highway. You would slam through that dude. No.
You just be like, yo, get the wipers going and keep it moving.
Okay. You
So-
skip through. Yeah.
Yeah, Jean-Claude, like the first Jean-Claude meeting's okay. It's just really French. He's behind the desk now. They do this whole desk back and forth thing for like 2 minutes.
A little, yeah.
And then
a little
comes
too
back
long.
around. And then Jean-Claude's introduced, but the next scene I have is he gets sent to the red light district. He does some bullshit with the translator and the pimp and all this shit. But basically what ends up happening is this is like the weirdest part, because like he just goes to find there must be tons of different pimps there, but he just finds the Albanian one.
Yeah.
And then the Albanian one leads him to a brothel and a construction site, and
But
he
it's
goes
not,
there.
It's not weird. It's not weird because Jean-Claude legitimately says he says, I'm looking for the Albanians, whatever. And Jean-Claude points him in the direction. And that's how he gets there.
It's a very specific set of Albanians,
Yes.
right? Like that he's looking for, and he just happens to find them.
Yeah.
But the chase scene at the construction brothel is great. The break-in, the finding the girl with the jacket, all that shit is great.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie, Mumbury. I really wasn't sold by the chase in the car and all of the driving scenes in Taken. I wasn't taken by it. I wasn't sold by it. I really liked the construction site, the last driver's death. Like when he hits
great.
I thought that was
Great.
fantastic. I
was just thinking the whole time, damn, you're trying to duck? You think you can duck out of that shit? And then when he drives takes the Jeep right through the fucking
the site.
The thing. Amazing.
But I was gonna say, Mumbury, like pimping in Europe is a different, bro. Those motherfuckers are savages.
Dude, I honestly wonder if you think they ain't savages here. But honestly, my whole thing was like I was literally thinking, damn, bro, like if I'm committed to doing like illegal shit, like I don't think I could do human trafficking. Like
right,
I think,
bro.
Not like I'm not talking about morally. I'm just saying like I feel like it's a lot of work for not a lot of money. Like I'd rather just sell drugs. Right?
You go the wire. You do it the wire way. Yes.
I'm just thinking selling coke
so
or
much
whatever
less work.
would be so much less work.
Yes.
For so much more money than keeping track of all the these guys are pretty much managers.
Yeah.
Managers of people
who
all the
don't
time.
want to be there, who you have
Don't want to be there.
who you have kidnapped. So not only
Yep.
are you hiding these folks from the police who are on the hunt looking for these people, but you have to drug them, you have to manage them, you have to keep them alive. And it's like
So doing this shit, like the woman is like getting $50.
yeah,
$50. What are we talking about here? That's a lot of like what are we doing? Like what are we doing here?
I think it is pretty wild. I mean, yeah, the entire situation is fucked up, like horribly fucked up. But yeah, so okay, where do you end that? So you're talking about all the way up to the.
So then my next star scene. So the two star scenes that I have, the best scenes are the Taken scene in the beginning the taken scene where she gets taken, and the next one that's just coming up is the Albanian house.
Oh, when he goes to that place in the Rue du Paradis, whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
He gets to the Albanian house and he finds
before you get to that Albanian house, I just love any of those fake call you think you're finding me, Born Identity situations. You know, like when he was talking to Jean-Claude after he made the mess in the construction site, and like they tracking his number and they go to the rooftop where his cell phone is, but his cell phone is near the walkie-talkie.
Yeah.
I love those scenes. I really do. I appreciate those scenes. It's always a nice, like, you think you got me, we're going to get you. You have to go back to America. And he's like, fuck you. I already know this. And I just like, it's like that spy shit. I just like that spy shit.
And then he goes to the Albanian house.
Yes.
And this is the best scene because first off, I mean, it's just one of those things where you have to ignore the fact that these guys are just like, this dude's clearly an American. And he has a French badge and he works for the French police, but he clearly has an American accent. And he doesn't even try to hide it. But he's like, rates went up. And I like this because it's like, he pulls it off. He gets in there and he does this cool little thing where he like, once he gets in, he's like, he's trying to get someone to say good luck.
Yeah.
To find out who Marco is. And it comes back around from that plane playing because he's heard the voice so many fucking times that all he needs is one of those. Because he's like, which one of you is Marco from Chapoja or whatever?
Marco.
Yeah. And then he finds him, and then he does. This is why you know he's petty as fuck, because he's like, he could have just fucking started fighting him, but he's like, I told you I'd find you. Word.
I have to say, this is such a good scene because you have to understand something about the scene. He is going into the lion's den. He has zero backup, but he walks in there with so much fucking cojones. And you're right. Not only does he not give a shit about the accent, he pulls it off so well. He's like, the rates go up. He's like, what are you talking about? He's like, because you guys are fucking criminals. What do you guys want me to, what do you want me to arrest you for?
Shit where he's like, you know how much it fucking costs to change the angle of degree from a satellite over 2 degrees? And everyone's there like, how the fuck would we know how much that shit costs? God damn. But it sounds expensive.
They start pushing back, and he's like, what do you want me to arrest you for? Kidnapping, prostitution, money laundering?
Yeah. It's fucking do this shit all day.
It's
one phone call. We got 30 agents in here.
It's a perfect scene. It's a perfect scene.
Amazing. And then, so that whole scene, and like, what's cool is right before he drops the like, I found you, he does this cool little look around where you can tell he's just memorizing where everyone is in the room before he whoops their goddamn asses. Yeah. And it's just like that combat in that, it's like, obviously it's not John Wick, Jason Bourne level, but it's like you can tell this dude is like,
he's about that shit. Yeah. The only thing I don't believe is that like he kills like the 4 people in that room and other people start to run up to the thing. I don't believe he got underneath the other dude because he gets underneath. Yeah.
I always wonder about those because I'm always like, if you tried that in real life, wouldn't you just get fucking shot? Because the first thing the dude's gonna be like is he's gonna go look in the room, find the one person that it doesn't belong there, take the gun at them. So as soon as you lift that gun up, you're just gonna get shot immediately. Exactly. Like he's not like, oh, that dude's dead. Let me look around and see what else is going on.
No.
But it works. And then I have that Albanian house right into the Marco torture scene because they're right after each other.
Oh yeah, no. I mean that's exactly. But Burry, can you not be a fucking asshole? And can we not skip the Amanda death? Amanda dies in that scene. He goes up to the rooms and he finds out that. I've
seen her dance moves. She died a long time.
Jesus Christ. But he does end up finding the chick, and like, I think it's kind of fucked up. I feel like I know that like the French police are after him, but he should send a message to someone, let someone know that this, like the lady's dead. Like she's dead. She's dead. It sucks. I know he's on a mission, but he should let someone know, right?
You know who we should call? Bono from U2 so they can do a tribute at the next concert.
Why are you an animal? But yes, can we? I do want to talk about this torture scene because I don't know. I didn't believe he was getting tortured that bad. Maybe I don't know what getting electrocuted is like, but it didn't seem
bro.
that
When he
bad.
starts going in about the third world,
Yeah,
and then how
yeah, he threw so much shade, bro.
I'm like, nigga, come on, man. The third world, they do that much to you. Like they don't have batteries in the third. Like you can do that shit with a battery. What do you need to bring up third world power for? Come on.
Yeah, he really does throw a lot of shade that way.
That's the first time it establishes like no one's getting out of here alive.
Nope, exactly.
Like when he leaves the fucking thing on for him to burn and Marco's like begging, you're like, all right, so everyone's dead. Everyone involved in the train is dead.
It's dead.
Except for Jean-Claude.
Yeah.
But he goes to Jean-Claude's, the dinner scene with Jean-Claude.
Great
right
scene.
After.
Another great scene. Great scene.
What I get mad about is if you knew you were gonna shoot the wife, don't make her make dinner, bro. Don't make her make dinner. Like, just be like, just can you just go to fucking Bertucci's or Papa John's or whatever and buy a pizza?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna make you cook and we pretend. Like, the worst thing about this is honestly, there's a few things better than a nice dinner with good people.
Yeah.
And if you're expecting a nice dinner and it goes from you getting shot and finding out your husband's a human trafficker, like that's just me. Just cut Papa John's and then do that shit. But everyone sitting down for dinner is just crazy. That's the worst thing. It comes back around with the thing is you've been behind the desk so long you forgot the weight of a loaded gun.
Great.
Yo,
quote.
come on. Someone tells you that, you cooked. You cooked. If someone tells you that,
he throws the bullets in his face.
I'm like, don't throw the bullets. You might pick one up. What are you talking about? But
bro, the rashness from the part where he throws the bullets and he's like, I'm serious. Like, let's not fuck around. When he shoots the wife again, even on the rewatch, it shocks me because he really is not fucking around. Like the quickness he goes from, you better tell me what's going on before I make your kids orphans. And then he shoots her right away. It's like, it's a flesh wound. If it's going to go right between her eyes if you don't do what I say. It's great.
No,
it's
I like that because he's about business. He knows that they're friends. Honestly, I feel like if they didn't know each other, he wouldn't have done it. But because they're friends, he probably expects that friendship to be like, there's no way he's going to hurt my wife.
Yeah.
So then he's like, all right, I got to shoot her first, quick. Establish the fact that I'm serious.
Yep.
Establish the fact that I'm willing to do whatever it takes. And then the dude was like, I mean, clearly the dude's willing to do all this shit to sit for his family. So.
Of course. But I have to say, before we move on from the scene, Mumburi, I almost think that the most fucked up thing is it's like, yeah, he kills everyone that's a part of this sex trafficking thing. Jean-Claude knows exactly what the fuck is going on. He knows that his daughter is stolen by these people, and he's still making money off of it. Jean-Claude should be reported at the very least, because I really thought that he was going to get shot or something was going to be at the end of the movie. You were going to see him in handcuffs going behind a car or something like they usually do with the bad guys, like after everything is resolved, but nothing happens to him. He legit tells him to tell his wife that he's sorry. So you know nothing happens to him. And I think that might be the most fucked up thing, letting Jean-Claude continue to do what he's doing.
Yeah, he's just taking that money and just letting him do whatever.
It is wild. I think it's just wild.
So he gets info from him to then infiltrate Epstein's mansion. The only thing I didn't like about this is he does the same ID gag. Like, can you ship me down a pipe? Do something else. Sneak in through the dumpster, pretend to be a waiter, some other shit. But like, don't do the same gag twice.
Well, right? If you want to make it even a little bit realistic, of course he's going to do the same thing. He's the CIA. He uses the badge to be the CIA, whatever thing. Of course he's going to get let in.
That badge literally gets him almost to like places. It gets him places where he shouldn't go.
Yeah.
Like if that's a private party, like if you just showed up and you're like maybe the director of the FBI gets in that party. But like you're just
gotcha. No, but I hear you.
He gets in, finds the thing, finds his daughter.
Yeah, St. Clair, or like you like to call him, the Epstein situation.
Obviously, this is crazy, but I was just so amazed, like the amount of money that people are like spending on whatever virgin women. I was just like, what is going on here? $500,000 is crazy.
It is crazy, bro. It's fucking crazy. But before we get to the actual purchasing of
I
the woman,
duplex.
Before we get to the purchasing of the woman, getting to the place where he, like, oh no, all the fighting happens after he buys her, right?
He buys her. No, so he does like some sneaking shit. Where first of all, he knocks out like 3 guys, and I guess stuffs them in a closet or some shit, and then like changes into their clothes. None of whom are the same size as Liam Neeson, by the way.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then wears their clothes, gets into the thing, makes him bid for the woman, gets caught, and then gets in an interrogation. And I love this scene because the head bad guy shows up, and he's just like, "Who are you? Who are you?" Yeah. And then it's like, all right, kill him, but make it quiet. I'm always like, but make it quiet.
Make it quiet.
Motherfucker, kill the motherfucker first. Like, even if there's a gunshot, who gives a shit?
Yes, I love that the bad guy's quote. Yeah, when he's like, "I'll pay." Now he's like, "I'll pay." After killing the entire fucking Paris, he's like, "I'll pay for her 100,000, 200,000." And then the bad guy's quote, which I absolutely love, he says, "This is a very special business with a very special clientele." I love that. And then he says, "No refunds, no returns, no discounts, no buybacks. Kill him quietly. I have guests to entertain." I love that. I love that. That is a real good bad guy quote.
In real life, he would have gotten away with it.
In real life?
And also, in real life, he would have gotten away with it. And also, he might be the slowest walker in human history because Liam Neeson fights like 30 people to the death and gets out, kills another person, and this motherfucker's barely made it down the hall. What are we doing here? Motherfucker. Get some steps in.
You know, in the what's it called? In the booth where they were buying the dudes, all I have been seeing since everyone on ESPN was blowing up, I thought one of those dudes looked like Ime Udoka. The dude that was chasing the buybacks with the what's it called? The Saudi Arabian, the Arab dudes. The going back and forth. I was like, damn, bro, this dude is going through it. But yeah, he gets out. He has to chase the boat, right?
Yep. He chases the boat. This is like, honestly, as far as like fight scenes go, this is like, at this point, you're just like, all right, just get the girl.
Exactly.
Like, when you're this close, you're almost like, just get the girl and get out of here.
Yeah.
He does the running scene, gets on the boat, does some gunfight. The Sheik, honestly, not a good look for Sheiks.
Yeah.
Not a good look for Sheiks. They could have gotten that.
Not at all.
I'm a Sheik. I'm calling Luke. I'm like, yo, come on. Come on. Get the guy in the fucking buff looking motherfucker.
Why is his bodyguard wearing mascara? Did you notice that?
Yeah. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what's going
on.
They like wild shit. But I do have to say that the one thing I do like about the whole Sheik situation, he's explaining to the main Sheik, like, this dude is chasing his daughter. But I love the respect that he puts on the Sheik's name. Even when he's talking about like shit coming down, he's like, "My Excellency." I'm like, okay. Yeah. Even when the world's about to end, he's talking about his excellency.
Honestly, that boat, I don't know if a Sheik would get caught on that boat because that boat is weak sauce for a Sheik. Like, I think I must not be a real Sheik. Honestly, I don't think so.
He's a lower tier Sheik. I mean, they do the reunion. Obviously, they get back. There's tears. Lenore is crying at the waiting in LAX, safe and sound, waiting for the daughter to get back.
Didn't move an inch.
Not an inch, bro. Not an inch. And at the end, she gets back into her Bentley with Bill, and they drive off. Drive off. Like they leave. They leave Bryan, who has worked for the last 96 hours to get their daughter. And he's like, "Get your own Uber, deuces."
Deuces. And I'm gonna he probably sent him an invoice for the private jet too.
But yeah, so that is the end of the movie. Between the Albanian's house and the phone call, do you have a favorite scene?
The phone call, obviously.
Yeah.
The Albanian house is probably
the best action. It's the best action. Yeah.
I think I'm done. Liam Neeson's obviously the MVP.
Yep.
The one thing we got to do is a remake.
Before we get to the remake, I do have, and I did write down, and this is where I wrote it down. I have, I hate to say it, but I do have the daughter as the LVP. I think she's super annoying. She doesn't act her age, which really pisses me off. And like, I don't know, she seems just it's like you want to feel bad for the person who's taken, but you really don't. Like you said in the beginning, you would have rather the pop star get taken.
I think if that was a better role, whether it was written better or acted better, I don't know. But I think
you could have felt more.
You know what it is? I wish they made her a little bit savvier. Like if there was one scene of her being taken somewhere, and then maybe she left a clue somewhere.
Yes.
Or like in the jacket, she wrote something down or something, and then then you're like, oh, like she made mistakes, but you can tell she's like savvy or quick thinking and stuff like that. Because she comes off as an idiot to start with.
Exactly.
And then
before we get to the remake, there's just one extra quote. We went over all the quotes that I have listed here, but I also have one extra quote. Is when Bryan is at the main house, the Albanian's house, and he says, you come to this country, take advantage of the system, and think because we are tolerant that we are weak and helpless. Your arrogance offends me. And for that, the rate goes up. The rate just went up 10%. I love that.
That's the type of colonialism bullshit that keeps on top, to be honest. That arrogance. Your arrogance offends me. Your arrogance offends me. Not my arrogance.
Yours. But yeah, so talk to me about this remake. Tell me the 2022 version of this movie.
So this might have been tainted because I just saw The Woman King, but it's Viola Davis. As FBI agent, CIA agent, things as her son.
Who's as the son? Who?
Caleb from Stranger Things, the black kid from Stranger Things.
Okay.
Just
you don't think he's too young? You don't think
he's 18 in real life or 20 in real life?
Oh, well, see, the thing is, they do such a good job of making them kid-like, because I still think of him as like an 8th grader.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's old as fuck in real life.
Okay.
But him from he's going back to West Africa to find his roots.
Yes, I love this movie already. I love this. Yes.
Lagos gets in with the wrong crowd and gets taken.
Yes.
And guess who he calls before he disappears? His mom, who is a CIA agent.
That's right. Bro, I love this movie already.
96 hours to go find them.
You've
seen this movie? Yes or no?
Mumburi, not only am I seeing this movie, I think you should take this to Hollywood right now. Viola Davis is on fire right now, bro. Because like the thing about Viola Davis, if you've seen that the TV show How to Make a Murderer, that voice, How to Get Away with Murder, and in Suicide Squad, that badass, I'm willing to break the rules, CIA, good but bad, like I will like do whatever is necessary. She plays that so fucking well. And you're right. The fact that she just did all of that action in Woman King, she is the perfect pick for a 2022 remake of this movie. Just the thing is about the kid, it really doesn't matter, but I do have more confidence in Caleb. Is that his name? That's his name, Caleb? Yeah, I do have more confidence in him giving me a little bit more empathy for the person getting taken than this chick. I mean, it was hard for me to feel bad for her. But I really I don't even want to tell you my recast because Viola Davis is so much better. I mean, it's the perfect pick. And any final thoughts, Maburi?
No.
So I did want to just say, like, the impact of this movie was huge, right? Last fun fact, fun note about this movie. In 2011, there was a self-proclaimed counter-terrorist expert who was convicted for fraud for claiming that this movie was based on his life. His name is William G. Hyler, and he pretended that. Of course it was. He pretended to be a retiree from the Green Berets.
I always wonder with these guys. I always wonder. Like, you get the guys who fake their military shit. It's like, motherfucker, are you just expecting no one to look you up?
The crazy thing is, as easy as it is to figure that out, you know what happened, Mumbury? For 12 years, he went around the country convincing like different agencies that even the FBI that he was he would train these people on security issues when it came to trafficking women, right? And then in 2000 he admitted to the charges when he finally got caught, and they finally found out that he wasn't obviously in the Green Berets. He had to spend just 500 hours of community service, but he did have to pay back the $171,000 in speaking fees that he got from training people on prostitution trafficking. Yeah. It's insane.
That's when you say your arrogance offends me.
Exactly.
Right there.
I mean, that is straight white privilege. Like, you go to the FBI and teach them about human trafficking.
You wouldn't have got caught if you didn't try to be like, yo, Taken was about me. These people just can't stop lying. That's the issue. They can't stop lying.
They can't stop lying.
It's him, Lenore. They deserve everything.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Taken, a fantastic, certified millennial classic. You will have a good time. You heard it yourself. Mumbury watched this movie twice in 1 weekend. That's how good this movie is, ladies and gentlemen. Please go rewatch. Go enjoy Liam Neeson doing what Liam Neeson does best. We'll catch you in a couple of weeks. Deuces.